Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Alright, so this video is going to be the 12 signs to know if someone has the Leviathan spirit. Now, one thing I want you to notice is if you've dealt with narcissist abuse and you have learned what narcissists are, their tactics, etc., you're going to realize this is what they are. This is in the Bible. So you talk about, Jezebel, Leviathan spirit, Cain, etc., etc., the serpent in the garden. These are all spirits that go into Narcissus, and they all have similarities. So this is going to be the much shorter version of the Leviathan spirit. I'm just going to read it off, and that's going to be it. Okay, there is one thing I want to point out. So one thing that the realization I've had over the last 2 weeks is this. Everything that from the Bible, from beginning to end, if there was one main theme, let's say there's 5 main themes, okay? The number one theme is what we're talking about right now in this video. There has been this battle going on from the beginning of the Bible to the end. That's been going on from the beginning of mankind to right now to the end. And it's dealing with these spirits, Narcissist spirits and the Leviathan spirit, okay? Alright, I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to slightly shift that. In my opinion, right now, I'm not going to explain it, maybe in another video. The entire Bible is about dealing with narcissists. There's this split, it's like the entire Bible, this divide that's going on. The Bible was trying to wake us up and show us what was attacking us, how to see them, how to recognize them, and what tactics they use so you could walk away from them, and how to deal with it. Alright, let's jump right into it. Okay, here we go. Number 1. The spirit of Leviathan twists the truth. So the spirit of Leviathan twists the truth. While it's true all evil spirits are liars, the Leviathan spirit specializes in twisting the truth in the mind of its victims, without them even realizing it. So it twists intentions in conversations. Someone can tell them something and they hear something different, okay? So essentially what it's saying is this. Let me go back. So Leviathan spirit specializes in twisting the truth in the mind of its victims without them even realizing it. So this is why a lot of times, they'll start arguing with you and yelling at you, and you can tell they're coming from their heart. Because when the words come to them, it's almost like there's this filter in their brain that literally twists it into something that you didn't say, okay? And the more you try to convince them, the more they think it's not what you're saying. So it's kind of a useless battle. You really should just walk away. So, okay, when you have conversations with people and they are twisting what you're saying, they're changing what you're saying, or they're lying about what you're saying, just walk away. It's a complete waste of time. This is a very, very, very powerful spirit. Unless you're Jesus Christ, there's nothing you can do about it. So this is one of the signs that you're dealing with someone with the spirit of the Leviathan spirit. And once again, did you notice that, hey, this is what narcissists do. They twist what you say, they lie about what you say, and they'll argue to death about it, and you're like, I never said that. And they're like, yes, you did. Okay, so number 2 is covenant breakers. Alright, so the Leviathan spirit is tasked with the breaking of covenants. One of the primary missions of this demon spirit is to destroy and break covenants. Leviathan hates covenants of any kind, especially the marriage covenant. Remember, Leviathan, or the narcissist spirit, is designed to divide, separate, and conquer. So they are threatened when 2 people come together as one, and you guys are teammates and support each other. And worse yet, they don't like it when people communicate with each other, because then you'll start putting the pieces together, and the Leviathan in their game will be revealed. Okay, so moving on. So the spirit of Leviathan, hold on 1 second, let me go back. Alright, so the spirit of Leviathan, it is responsible for nearly all, if not all, divorces. The person working under the influence of Leviathan is so prideful that they can't admit when they are wrong. They played the blame game, and it is always someone else's fault. Now, once again, who does that sound like? Yes, that sounds like the narcissist. Okay, the spirit of Leviathan, number 3, severs your relationship with God. Alright, so what it does is it separates you from God, and it creates a hardness of heart to or towards God. So it twists scripture, whispering lies about God, stirring up feelings of anger, bitterness, unforgiveness, and resentment. Okay, so one of the things it does is it separates you from God or turns you away from God. So in the case of the narcissist, they literally turn away from God. They are literally godless, okay? So they are disconnected from God. With you, what they do is they block you from your emotions and thus block you from God. So that's different. You didn't turn from God. You were disconnected momentarily, maybe for a year or two, but it'll get better. Okay, number 4, they are stiff-necked people. In other words, they're very stubborn. So just to clarify, these signs are to help you to recognize when you're dealing with someone with the spirit of Leviathan in them. It is a demon. It's demonic. It's another way of calling them is a narcissist, because this is what a narcissist is. So when you see these signs in someone, that's like, boom, I can get out. It's like it makes it much easier because you know what to look for instead of trying to reason with them and trying to sit down and, hey, let's talk about like you don't understand, this person is not home. Okay, I'll say it one more time. Unless you are Jesus Christ or a highly, highly chosen, powerful spiritual being, do not try to deal with a narcissist. Your job is to get away. If you cannot throw demons into swine like Jesus did, do not try to negotiate with them. Do not try to deal with them. Get away. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so there's people of the spirit of Leviathan. They're stubborn and they believe they know more than anyone else, and always believe they are right, and also don't want to do anything unless it was their idea first. So the main thing that stands out to me is they always believe they're right, and they don't listen to anyone else's thoughts at all. Okay, a little bit more about this. So the spirit of Leviathan causes a person to become hard-hearted and coarse. They seem robot-like and have a nonchalant attitude of, well, whatever. So the main one that really stands out for me is they seem robotic. The way they move, the way their eyes, the way they move their head, the way their facial expressions are they're robots. So they're incapable of being moved by pity or tenderness, and they're very unfeeling. Okay, so if someone got hurt emotionally or physically, they really don't care. Like, hey, let's go to lunch. And you're like, well, look what just happened. They just got hit by a car. It doesn't really register to them. Okay, so they don't have empathy and have a hard time seeing things from other people's point of view. So again, that's a really good sign. If you're dealing with someone who doesn't see your point of view, get away from them. Okay. Another sign is if there's just like this emptiness or this deadness inside, like there's just no emotions, there's just like blank. Number 6, blocks the Holy Spirit in your life. Okay, so the scales meaning like on the reptilian's body, the dragon, the scales won't let the Holy Spirit in. It blocks the Holy Spirit or God out. In fact, the scales block the expression of the real person inside. It's trapped inside of them too. So they can't express themselves. They can't communicate their emotions and their feelings. So it's kind of like an inner prison. So essentially what happens is, now one thing you have to remember, like it's not, how do I explain this? At some point in time, they had to want this power. They had to want to take on this entity, okay? Because they see this as, hey, this gives me an edge over other people, even though it completely screws their life up. So Metallica has this song, it's the band Metallica, a heavy metal band, and I don't remember the lyrics, but it's something like, all these promises, only lies. And that's essentially what a narcissist does. They believe these lies and they never come true, and yet they're stuck. They can't get where they want to go in life. It's like they get a little. Here's what happens: the devil breadcrumbs them. So you know how you get breadcrumbed by a narcissist? The devil has been breadcrumbing them the whole entire time, and that's why they keep falling for it. Okay, just a quick thought. One of the reasons why the Bible is, what's the word, not just believable but factual, is because when you understand what a narcissist is, you go to the Bible and like, wait a minute, this was in all the books. If not all the books, it's from the book of Genesis all the way to the last book, to the book of Revelation. From Cain to the Jezebel spirit to the Leviathan spirit to all of it. It is all in the Bible. And they were trying to warn us about narcissist, what we now call narcissist abuse. The Bible just uses terms like demon, Cain, the serpent, Leviathan, Jezebel spirit, etc., etc. So just a real quick verse I just found. In the Old Testament, Leviathan appears in Psalms 74:14 as a multi-headed sea serpent that is killed by God and given as food to the Hebrews in the wilderness. In Isaiah 27:1, Leviathan is a serpent and a symbol of Israel's enemies who will be slain by God. So all of this is in the Bible. The more you know the Bible, but it's not just that, because you can know the Bible inside and out, and until you have this revelation where you wake up from an extreme, severe narcissist attack, and you start to see it, until you have that experience, you can't match it up, and you just think, oh, well, these are some interesting things in the Bible. But when you awaken to narcissist abuse, also, you know, wait a minute, this is everything the Bible was talking about. And you realize God was trying to warn us the entire time. And this is why narcissists do not want us to believe in the Bible. This is why they tell it, or, you know, atheists, I believe most of them, if not all of them, are narcissists. This is why they, see, okay, if you don't believe in something, then why do you always talk about it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, other than a video or two on this channel, I haven't talked about Santa Claus in probably 20 years. I mean, I just don't talk about Santa Claus. I mean, why? All right, let's take flat earth, and I'm not going to discuss this, but I don't believe in flat earth, so I don't talk about it. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the very first time I've ever even mentioned that on my channel. I just don't talk about it because I don't believe about it. So what hit me one day about a year and a half, 2 years ago, is like, this guy keeps telling me how he doesn't believe in the Bible. He doesn't think there's a God. He thinks it's all bullshit. There's just science. He's one of those science people. And he says it's just a book full of made-up stories and fairy tales. And I just thought, well, and I even eventually, after a couple months of him bringing up the Bible, I said, well, for someone who says they don't believe in the Bible, you sure do talk about it a lot, and you sure do bring up a lot of verses and a lot of stories from the Bible. So, like, are you sure you don't believe in the Bible? Because, man, dude, you're practically a preacher at this point. So something just kind of was bugging me, because all my life, every now and then you bump into someone, oh, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in the Bible, it's full of shit, and it's just a bunch of fairy tales and made-up stories, man-made stories. And I was like, well, why do these people care then? Like, why are they, here's what it came to, it's like, why are they putting so much time and effort and energy and thought, critical thinking? Why are they putting so much energy into trying to prove that it's not real? That was the thing that didn't make any sense to me. It's like, fine, you told me what you believe, move on. Like, why do you keep bringing this up? In fact, here's the deal. They're the ones that bring it up, and I thought, like, what is this? It's like, oh. So I realized, because they know that the Bible's true, and they don't want you to read it, because the Bible reveals narcissists. And they don't want you to see it. That's what they're terrified of. Here's the deal. They actually believe in the Bible more than you do. And they know it's true, and they're trying to hide it. They're trying to block it. Number 8, the whispering liar. Doesn't that sound like a narcissist? Always talking behind people's back, whispering sweet nothings into people's ears? Alright, so number 8. This spirit whispers lies, implants thoughts which encourage false accusations against people, particularly those who are in positions of authority. It will plant outrageous seeds that are a complete distortion or twisting of the truth, and then hammer those thoughts over and over again. Once again, who does that sound like? Yep, a narcissist. Number 9, contentiousness. Okay, so Leviathan uses contentiousness and misunderstanding to destroy communication between people and also with God. This causes major division in relationships and people. If not stopped, this spirit will keep hammering on the division with his manipulation and lies until the relationship is destroyed. The phrase divide and conquer comes from narcissist abuse. Because they don't want 2 people or more, 2 or 3 people to start sharing notes. Well, hey, so-and-so said this to me, that you said this about me. And so-and-so said this about you, that you said that you said this about me. They don't want you getting together and talking, so they have to constantly create division between everyone. So you guys are so pissed off at each other that you don't trust anything that they say. And therefore, the narcissist controls all of you. And that is divide and conquer. Do you know what the number 1 tool is in football? I mean American football, to win? I think it's going to shock you. On my high school football team, they emphasize this, and during the summer they had to spend time together, play games, swim together, go out together, because we had to get to know each other. We had to understand each other's weaknesses, strengths, what they were going to do in certain situations. It's communication. The number 1 tool to be successful in sports is communication. The football could be handed off to the tailback, and I'm the fullback, and I'm running, and I could tell by the way the guy would make a noise, like I needed to crash down to block that guy, I need to swoop out to get this guy, simply by a little noise that he would make. The offensive lineman, while the quarterback's doing the count, could look back at me and then make a quick look in a direction. I would know that he's telling me, don't go this way, I need you to go this way because I'm going to crash down, which means you got to go out. Now, I was airborne infantry, so I was in the Army. So guess what the number 1 tool is in the military to beat your opponent, to win a war? Disrupting their communication. If you could shut their communication lines down, you will win the war, even if you have a smaller military, for sure, hands down. If you cannot communicate to the people that you're working with, you are screwed. Guess what? This is the same thing in business. You have to communicate or you will not make it. This is why it's number 1 important if you're married in any kind of relationship, a business relationship including, you need to communicate to the people that are on your team, because I guarantee you a narcissist will disrupt the communication and they'll start talking behind everyone's back and they'll turn everyone against each other. If you are not sharing this with people around you, you are going to be screwed, and so are they. This is how marriages get destroyed. People that are madly in love, it's that jealous person that doesn't have that, and they start dividing you. Communicate with each other. Tell your partner, hey, so-and-so said this about you, or said that you did this or said this. Is this true? In fact, both of you first talk and then confront the person and then put it in their face hard. Okay, number 10, lifts up leaders to crush them. Alright, so because Leviathan wants to do as much damage as possible to destroy covenant relationships, it tries to involve as many people as possible. What better way to do that than to target leaders and influencers? Again, be careful of marriage and family, close friends, and business people whispering sweet nothings to people behind their backs. Okay, you have to communicate, let each other know what's going on. If someone says something bad about your friend, go to your friend immediately. Do not waste any time and tell them what they said. Number 11, depression. Okay, so the spirit of Leviathan, the demonic spirit of Leviathan brings depression. Anytime you have a demonic presence operating in a person's life, you will see depression accompanying it at some point. This is the spirit of heaviness. Now let me talk about this a little bit. In my career, one thing I began to notice is people that had addictions to alcohol, to drugs, people that had cancer, people that were depressed, and nothing they took, no pill, no therapy, nothing helped. It was an energy thing. It was an energetic level. It was either a demonic spirit, or there was negative energy that was attached or inside your energy. Maybe not a demon or nothing like that, but if you do not clear out and heal the energy, you're going to be depressed forever. It'll never go away. The anxiety and the fear will never go away. How do I know? Because I suffered from all of this my entire life, and it was finally when I started going to energy healers and stuff like that, when all of a sudden it started to clear. Now, it wasn't overnight. It's not a quick magic, because there's more than one thing you have to deal with, and each issue may take time, okay? But it worked, and it was consistent, and I moved forward, and I moved forward. So when I look at people now, I don't just go with the medical field, go, oh, well, you know, they got to take medicine for the rest of their life. Like, really? That's because they're two-dimensional. That's all they can see. They don't believe in spirit. Now, I'm not asking you to believe in it. It's just like, well, let me tell you this. That stuff doesn't work. Here's one thing that I have seen. I've seen things in my life, in my client's life, and I've seen things in other people's life shift just like that. Have you ever met someone who had massive problems in some area, depression or anxiety or fear, or maybe it was alcoholism, and they went to this church and the whole church prayed for them, or they prayed to take the demon out or something like that, and they never went back to alcohol again. They had no craving. It just wasn't there. It was just gone. Like poof, disappeared. We are dealing with energy. We are dealing with a spiritual battle. If you do not deal with this on that level, you will never heal from your issues. And finally, number 12, master of blame and self-pity. Once again, who does that sound like? It sounds like a narcissist. Now, this is all coming from the Bible about the Leviathan spirit. Not only does it sound similar, it is similar because it's the same being. It's the same beast. All right. So number 12, master of blame and self-pity. So because the leading way the Leviathan spirit operates is through pride, you will see it rear its ugly horns when fault comes its way. It can't be wrong or at fault for anything. It's too good for that, and above it all, okay? Meaning, in its egotistical way, it wants to, well, I'm too good for that. I can't be blamed for anything. I'm perfect. I don't do it. And that's one thing you'll find about narcissists is they cannot handle any reality saying, hey, you know, actually you made a mistake here. They get angry, they'll bite their teeth, and they'll look at you like, is something wrong? Like, it could be like the smallest little thing. It's like, it's not a big deal, man. But they cannot take on any kind of fault of anything. They will not do it. They'll get mad, they'll twist it, they'll blame you, they'll reverse blame, they'll do all that stuff. Once again, even though we're talking about Leviathan, we're really talking about narcissists, because this is just a different word for the same beast. And once again, if you meet someone who's like that, that just is like, can't handle any constructive criticism, and that's what you could be very positive trying to help them teach something. Because I get clients like this, like they come to me, they pay me to coach them, like, hey, what am I doing wrong? How come I'm not getting this result in my life? I'm like, oh, well, all you're doing is you're just doing that. Now here's a better strategy. Let me teach it to you. Let me condition it in. And they will get pissed. They do, even though they're coming to me to pay me to coach them to work on, and see, one of the biggest things we're taught in NLP is how to look for someone's unconscious strategies and go, oh, all you're doing wrong is this. Here, let me install a better strategy, and boom, there you go. But they cannot handle if you say anything that's not 100% positive. So the way I deal with them now is like, I won't work with them. I won't deal with them, even on a social, I'm like, no, I'm done. until they get the spirit of Leviathan out of them, or the Jezebel spirit, or the demonic spirit out of them, the attachment, until they deal with that, there's nothing you can do with them. It's just that rules them, it takes over, it runs them. So until they go to a church, a pastor, a powerful priest, a powerful shaman, energy healer, someone who really can take that out of them, don't deal with them, okay? Because everything's going to get twisted and you're going to get nowhere. Hey guys, remember I'm a certified life coach, certified NLP trainer, a master practitioner, timeline therapy, energy healing, master hypnotherapist, etc. I work with people on any level, business level, social level, dating, relationship coaching. If you need help with narcissist abuse or energy, let me know. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. God bless you. Thank you for listening. If you like this video, click subscribe, click the like button, and please go ahead and make a comment, even just to say hello. Again, there's a donation button or link. It's a PayPal link in the description box. If you want to make a donation, please go ahead. If not, don't worry about it. It's okay. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.